will be removing the passenger seat. Grab your key, twist it and lock, pop the rear part off, and then it should just slide up. The passenger seat is now off. I'm going to take out the little tool bag that comes with the bike. I will be using a 5mm Allen key to remove the driver's seat. We can just lift the driver's seat, pull it off. This is going to be the right back side panel black OEM part from Yamaha that we will be installing. And it's going to sit on the bike like that. The tools that we will need will be a 12mm socket as well as a 4mm hex key. 12mm socket set to reverse, and we are going to remove this bolt, flip this open, and remove that bolt as well. I have my magnetic tray here. That way there's not a lot of moving parts, lessening confusion at the end when we replace everything. Up. There's going to be a spacer, and you want to be very careful not to lose that. So I'm going to remove this tool from my hand and just place it here. That way, if it does fall, I can catch it. And there we go. As well as a spacer right there that I can see. And we'll keep those two together here. Now we are going to use the 4mm hex key to remove here. And there's one more bolt right there. I'm just going to set my tool down right here. There's going to be two plastic or nylon rivets that's keeping the whole side panel together with the under panel. I'm going to remove it with the 4mm hex key. You can use any small tool, just push in the rivet and then pop it out. Make sure you retrieve it and get it back into the tray. It's pushed in. This is going to be the last bolt to remove before being able to take off the entire side panel here. I'm going to move my tool. And there is a washer right there. Now that I have this bolt off, this is unfastened, and these two are removed. You can start sliding off the side panel. Pretty easy. I'm going to move over to the floor over there because this next part we will be removing this as well as these two 4mm bolts in here. Just a quick side note, after removing these two with the 4mm hex key, I will be replacing them with an M5x10 bolts. I picked these just because they were black, and the goal is for me to matte out or black out the entire MT-07. During reinstallation, yours will be the same OEM pieces unless you do choose to get two black bolts or any colored bolts of your choosing. Whoops. Okay, last bolt. I do recommend having some sort of extension bar or some sort of long T-bar handle because this is a very difficult angle to come in at. Once this piece loosens, you're going to want to make sure that you're holding both together because essentially the silver piece will be able to fall off, and I don't want you damaging your parts. Perfect. I do recommend some pliers for this part. We will be removing this metal elbow piece here and installing it into our new piece right there. And now to install it into the black piece back there. You will want to make sure that you're installing it exactly like it was before. Flat piece on top and the screwing piece on bottom. You'll also want to make sure that it latches. I am so excited to throw this piece on. So with the new piece, I'm going to slide this back in, having those three match up. That looks about right. And now we're trying to pull this piece back through into the rear side panel. Oops, sorry. Okay. Now we are going to want to make sure that that bolt is lined up here. This rubber locking matches in this top where we took off the 12mm socket, while trying trying to get this little rubber finger through that hole. I'm going to start with just lining it up and then getting that little rubber piece to stick through. Use this to help me keep things together. Then flip inward, and I'm going to use my nails to just pull that through. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Now that these two are lined up, I am going to refasten the bolts down here, but again, I'm using aftermarket M5x10 bolts. Yours will be this bolt right here. That looks very clean to me. Now that these two are hand fastened in, that last silver bolt going in the middle to keep everything in place. Oh, almost lost it. Right here. I'm just going to hand tighten it until I can use the tool. Everything is tightened back on, these two, as well as that bolt. Time to line it up and reinstall it onto your bike. I know I'm not going to be able to get a good angle of it, but you'll want this plastic fairing to go over the center plastic fairing, then rivet, tighten them together. So we will start by lining it up here. Make sure that this plastic is over this rubber. Now that it's pretty much laid where it's supposed to be, I'm gonna get under the bike with the two plastic rivets to make sure that it is properly aligned. So it's not, I'm just gonna peel the one without a button to press will be in front or on top. I apologize. There we go. And again, going backwards in the order that we removed each bolt. Going to start with this screw, which will go right here. Oh no, I don't know if you can tell, I didn't get this under the plastic. I'm gonna try to fix that. I just sliding it in. Oh no, I can see the dirty comments now. Sorry. I'm trying to keep this PG. Right there. I'm going to hand tighten everything and then go back with the actual ratcheting wrench. That looks good. This piece will be up front here. Since this piece is small, I will use the tool just to assist me with getting a good grip on it. This piece next, going in right here. Make sure that goes in there. You can also put the spacer in first and then the bolt through that. I will do that on this next one just to give you both perspectives. So if this is too difficult to turn upside down and get in, you can take this, place it in there, and then the bolt through both. All right, I'm going to go through and tighten everything up. Sorry, I hit the tripod that it's on. I'll come back to that one. Going to replace the 4mm hex key with the 12mm socket. And there we are.